sunny downtown Temecula. I came to this valley in 1971. Wow. Yeah, to take a job right next door in Murrieta as a teacher. They only had one elementary school, and Temecula only had one elementary school. And now, between the two of us, we have over 50 schools. I'm telling you, these valley people multiply faster than rabbits. It's amazing. And when I came here, there was just a road, and on one side was Temecula, and on the other side was Rancho, California. But as those two entities grew, they decided they wanted to have one name and be under the same umbrella. What a discussion that was. Should it be Rancho, California? Should it be Temecula? Should it be Rancho Temecula? I mean, to be fair, I thought it should have been Tarantula. And then everybody would have had to change their address, right? But I'm a small town girl, and I felt right at home when I came here. I grew up learning at an early age that it's easy to be a big fish if you swim in a little teeny pond. When I was in the 8th grade, I dyed my hair blue with food coloring. Okay, it rained that day. Now you know where the expression blue humor comes from. It was a mess, but everybody laughed, except my mom. And I began to see the value of humor. You know, it draws people to you. I think I multiplied my fan base that day. The same year, I stood at my very first microphone and made a campaign speech for an ASB office. I made a bunch of real phony promises, you know, just like they did at the national conventions. Everybody laughed, and I got the job. And I thought, this humor thing is great. It draws people to you. And I like standing up in front and making people laugh. So I became a teacher. Think about it. An opportunity to change lives and have fun doing it. A day job with a regular paycheck. And a captive audience every show. I mean, class every day. And they couldn't get away without a hall pass, which I had to sign. Well, also, I discovered that humor makes learning fun. For example, a 180-degree turn. That's hard for kids to understand until you do kind of a stand. I threw a math book down. I stood on it. I did a Tony Hawk. Voila, they got the concept. I just got a small bruise on my hip and a large bill for the book that I destroyed. And in our class, an improper fraction was called a Dolly Parton. Well, now, not because Dolly is improper, don't get me wrong, but let's just put it this way. Her numerator is a lot bigger than her denominator. That gives you something to remember. I also learned that humor makes you feel younger and live longer. I mean, look at Phyllis Diller. She just passed away at 95 years old. And they called her a late bloomer because she started into comedy when she was 37 years old. What in the world are they going to call me? Petrified wood? Maybe dead wood. I'm not sure. But 3 years ago, when I decided to be a comic, I knew I needed a persona. And there is just nothing funny about a 67-year-old retired white school teacher. I don't even have a legitimate ethnicity. I'm half Danish, kind of half undefined, which makes me scan-delusional. And in the delusion, in my mind's eye, I see myself as a smoking hot 35-year-old. Everybody always laughs at that. I don't get it. But I decided that would be my persona, and I would live it. So I took up go-kart racing. And I was so good at it, my husband bought me a racing helmet, which I love when I have on, because you can't even tell my age, because I kind of look like this. Now, I've seen other women who look like that, and they don't have helmets on. They're over in Palm Springs. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. Well, after I beat everybody go-kart racing, I took up trap shooting, and I was on a women's trap shooting team. I was terrible. I couldn't hit anything. My husband came out and saved me again. He said, honey, anyone who has double vision, wears trifocals, and has hot flashes should not have a gun in their hands. So that was the end of that. I entered a triathlon. And on my first time out, I won a first place medal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In my age category. Okay, I was the only one in my age category. I even tried my hand at surfing and pole dancing, but I will tell you, that was a complete wipeout and a slippery slope. I'll just leave it at that. That was when I discovered that humor promotes health, healing, and happiness. And I joined the Christian Comedy Association and the American Association of Therapeutic Humor. Who knew? And I even got a chance to test their theories, because about the same time, I got this terrible case of shingles right around here. I ran to the doctor. I got a whole bunch of medication. I whipped off my bra, kicked up my feet. Well, I waited till I got home to do those two things. And then I watched 48 episodes of Golden Girls. And I laughed myself well in 1 week. The Bible says, a merry heart is good medicine. And the pain pills help too. But it was when my grandson, Les Fountain, was diagnosed with brain cancer at 4 years old that I realized that humor can also heal a broken heart. Because at that time, my daughter ran a 5K and started a Lids for Less campaign where she collected 100 hats for him to wear during treatment. The men in our family all shaved their heads, and that was a laugh in itself. My daughter-in-law painted a Christmas tree on Les's head, and with a suction cup, put an ornament right on top. And when I did my first comedy show, Les is now the poster child for an organization called BRIC, Brain Research in Cancer Kids. And when I did a comedy show in San Diego to raise funds for other children just like him, I saw the true purpose of humor in my life and the value of it for everyone else. And I want to challenge you today, and that is, you know, humor is more contagious than shingles. I'm going to challenge you to look for something funny every day, and you'll begin to see humor all around you. And if that doesn't work, dye your hair blue. Everyone will laugh. And now I'm going to go home and laugh myself well. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.